What's good, Ravens fans? It's your boy JG from the Ravens Space back with another reaction video. Today, we're reacting to Stephen A. talking about Lamar Jackson and his contract. Let's see what he has to say. Let's do it.
How do you see this playing out
Yes.
between Lamar and the Ravens?
Eventually, Lamar Jackson will be traded. I'm not saying it's the wisest thing to do because he's a superstar talent. He's box office. He's all about Baltimore, all of this other stuff. This is no shade whatsoever thrown on Lamar Jackson. He's a tremendous, tremendous talent. I'm not questioning his skill. I'm not questioning the fact that he's worth $200 million. I'd give him $200 million today. Make no mistake.
All right, I got to say something. I was going to let Stephen A. get it off. He's not being traded, guys. I do not think so. When do you get top 5 quarterbacks in the league? And, you guys might not agree, but guess what? I agree. Pro Football Focus agrees. A lot of people agree. If you trade a top 5 quarterback, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. I'm just going to say it like that. You make it work. You make top 5 quarterbacks work. And Pro Football Focus has him ranked number 5 right now, and he missed some games. Okay? Look at the difference in the offense before and after Lamar Jackson. Guys, I know we all want to think as Ravens fans that we are a terrific organization. And the truth is we are a great organization. We're great. We have never been good on offense as an organization. Ever. Ever. Right? We've never been a top 5 offense. Lamar Jackson consistently has us there. Always on the brink of top 5 or in top 5. That is the truth, and that is why we have to make the right decision. Don't listen to Stephen A. Do not trade Lamar Jackson. Do not do it. Do not do it. Please don't. All right, let's get back to it.
About that. But to me, for it to have taken this long, something is awry. And Ryan Bart, I don't know what that is. I heard Swagoo come on the show earlier this week and initially said he was guaranteed $133 million. Then he corrected it because Chris Mortensen had reached out to him and said the signing bonus essentially was about $133 million and $200 million was guaranteed. And that was still enough for him to say no because he's hell-bent on getting the money that Deshaun Watson has made. I don't know that. I'm just telling you what Swagoo said to me and Molly the other day right here on First Take. Having said all of that.
So again, and you guys heard me say this before, I don't know about the exact details, right? Because, I don't talk to Lamar Jackson or Eric DaCosta. But what Stephen A. said about the Deshaun Watson thing is 100% correct. That is the only reason it's not done. Because he wants fully guaranteed Deshaun Watson money. And anything below that, he's saying no to right now. That's what's happening. So that's 100% the case. No one has refuted that. That is exactly what it is. So take that to the bank.
I just think that when you take into account that he doesn't necessarily have the quintessential prototypical agent representing him, that family members are representing him, that they can't seem to come to an accord at this moment in time. They can say what they want, but to me, if all 3 of them were on the same page to that degree, a deal would have been done already if both sides really, really wanted to remain in Baltimore. Somebody's lying, y'all. I don't know who it is. I have no clue.
Yeah.
Somebody's lying. Because if all 3 of them are on the same page in Baltimore and Lamar Jackson feels the way that he feels, supposedly about wanting to stay, a deal would have been done by now. Then the last thing, guys, if you remember, a little over a week ago, Lamar Jackson tweeted about his health situation and gave specifics over a tweet. He did not okay that and communicate with the Baltimore Ravens organization before he put that out. There is clearly a divide there. So if that is taken into consideration, when you see the greatness of Lamar Jackson and when you can fantasize about the assets that you could get for him, do you want to lose them? Hell no. But if he doesn't want to stay or somebody's in the way of an accord being reached, I can see that a trade inevitably is on the horizon. That's where I'm coming from with it.
Yeah, when you look at this situation, especially you explaining.
Guys, again, I just got to say this. We got to stop pretending. We have to stop pretending that a draft pick is equal to a great quarterback. They're not the same. They're not the same. There's a lot of draft picks, guys. There's like 7 great quarterbacks, right? There are a lot of draft picks, 7 great quarterbacks. Okay? Only one team is in the playoffs without, or that's still in the playoffs, let me say, without a franchise quarterback. Okay? Only one. Let's just look at right now. Again, I'm recording this. The 49ers are still playing the Cowboys. But let's just say both of those, either one of those teams, right? The quarterbacks that will be going to the next round, Jalen Hurts, MVP season, based on them getting him help. Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league. Joe Burrow, people would argue the second best quarterback in the league. You know, that's what it is, guys. That is what it is, right? People think Dak Prescott is a top 10 quarterback for sure. I don't think anyone have him top 5, but definitely top 10. And then Brock Purdy, is Brock Purdy. He just came in, but he's playing at a high level. So quarterbacks are the name of the game. And if you trade him for, let's just say trade him for a first round pick, and he ends up being Baker Mayfield, who is a good quarterback. He's just not a first round pick. That's all it is, guys. That's all it is. And we have to get that through our heads. We got to.
Seeing it that way, Stephen A., that there was 200 guaranteed, and obviously we can't confirm that. You say, okay, what else does Lamar Jackson need, or what else does he want to stay in Baltimore if Steve and John and Lamar are all on the same page? The other thing is this, DeMaurice Smith, the NFLPA executive director, is actually on the pivot today, and he's talking about guaranteed contracts, and he's saying about the way that the NBA moved toward, and also that Kirk Cousins had a fully guaranteed contract, and Deshaun Watson had a fully guaranteed contract. And what it was the quarterbacks that came after them didn't demand the same thing. And so now these teams can put players back in a place that they say, no, you don't get a fully guaranteed contract, but here is what we will give you. And it seems that Lamar wants more, and exactly what Deshaun Watson got, which meaning he wants more money, but he wants it all guaranteed in the same way that it happened for Deshaun Watson. And if that's a sticking point, I believe it ends in the trade too, Stephen A. I don't believe that Baltimore will bend on that. I listened to Rex Ryan on Monday talk about the way that this Baltimore organization does business, the people that this Baltimore organization is willing to part ways with. And what I said to him was, they ain't been Lamar Jackson. They aren't the quarterback of this team. That's already one of.
Yeah, again, but I think Ryan Clark is forgetting something, man. Listen, that front office in Baltimore is prideful, man. It's prideful. We kept on to, man, it's prideful. It's a prideful front office. We don't pay pass rushers. Pass rushers are the highest paid players on the defense. So when you draft them, you try to keep them, like a Matt Judon, for example, like a Za'Darius. We let them go. We let them go all the time. This is a prideful organization. And when I say prideful organization, I mean they think they do it the right way, and they think that they don't care who is the person. And you've seen Greg Roman stay longer than he has to because of the pride. You've seen, for example, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens started off in Baltimore, so we brought him back. We didn't even consider any other defensive coordinator. All right, no one called Rex Ryan, who's had great defenses for years in this league. No one gave him a call. So it's kind of a point where it's almost scary that I think that it is possible they do trade him. I don't think it will happen, because I think the wiser heads will prevail. But don't ever put anything past this front office. Don't do it. Listen. I've seen them let go of great players before. Great players. Okay? I've seen it, and they'll do it again. They'll do it again. Don't. Hey.
An MVP in his second year as a starter. But if those are certain things that are starting to be sticking points and be issues in this relationships, I do see a problem. And the last is this. When a quarterback feels the need to address the entire world through Twitter so they know what he is dealing with his injury, it says to me that he feels his team isn't representing him in the right way. He feels that his team doesn't have his back. And when Marlon Humphrey has to come out after the game and say, I knew Lamar wasn't going to play because I probably shouldn't say this, but I watched him limp around the facility. Why couldn't John Harbaugh say that? Why couldn't John Harbaugh have his quarterbacks back? There's something going on inside that building that we don't know about that seems to make this deal hard to come to. And if that continues, I think you have to get as much as you can for him on the trade market.
Okay, now this one I'm not going to give Ryan Clark. That one I'm not going to give him. I don't agree with that. Only because we've seen that's not how coaches roll. Coaches don't give information out for no reason. Now, Lamar Jackson did the right thing, though. You know, it's kind of if you at work, guys, and the work ain't getting done, and the reason is because your boss is holding it for some reason. Your boss is in your way. Your boss is telling you to do something different, but you're in the meeting, and for some reason, everyone's saying that you're going to do better next time, and you're looking around like, whoa, wait a minute now. What you mean I'm going to do better next time? Or if something doesn't get done, and people are like, hey, you know, it didn't get done. You know, Jason, he'll knock it out next time. I was on vacation. What do you mean I'll knock it out next time? No, y'all got to know. Y'all got to know. And that's what Lamar Jackson did. No, y'all not going to just sit here and say that I'm healthy. I'm not going because of contract. I'm not going because my knee is busted up. And if I go and shatter my knee, then I lose my career. That's why, okay? And in football, it's something that's very, very possible, right? Very, very possible. It happened to Joe Burrow, right? Patrick Mahomes on a QB sneak, he hurt his knee. Patrick Mahomes hurt his knee last week. It's very, very possible. So, good thing on Lamar, but I don't want to say that's John because, you know, again, Bill Belichick wouldn't have did the same thing. Bill Belichick would have just kept quiet until game day. So, to be honest.
There's no way in hell that the Baltimore Ravens let Lamar Jackson go, right? And we understand, right, from the owner perspective and from the player perspective, what's going on here, right? Cleveland set the football world on fire, right? Because they're the outlier.
Yeah.
Much like the Raiders used to be back in the day. That organization will do things that other organizations aren't willing to do because at some point they all understand that they have to work together. You can call it colluding or whatever you want to call it, but they have to work together.
Yeah.
So now that the president has been set for Deshaun Watson, the Baltimore Ravens don't want to be next in line because if you understand what happens, that means that Joe Burrow, that means that Justin Herbert are going to get guaranteed contracts. That's why players were upset with Russell Wilson because it has always been, you guys may not believe this, but at one time, I was the highest paid linebacker in the NFL. Then D'Amico Ryan, right? And then it went so forward, then Patrick Willis. And that's just how it's supposed to go. So once the president is set with Deshaun Watson, it's the next guy's responsibility to secure the bag for the those that come after. And that's the sticking point. So $200 million is a lot of money, but Aaron Rodgers didn't demand it. So then they're saying, we can't give you that. And the issue is, if they do trade Lamar Jackson, it has to be something in place that means that the next team is willing to give him the guaranteed bag. So that's the difference, right? What team is out?
That's a great point, right? Basically, whatever team does this has to be like the Browns. They have to be willing to do anything to win, right? And there are not a lot of teams. I know you guys like to think. I know you guys love to think every single team wants to win a Super Bowl so bad. Every single team is going to do everything they can to win a Super Bowl. Look at the Texans, guys. They hire coaches for 1 year and fire them every single year. They don't care about winning a Super Bowl. They don't care about putting the best team on the floor every year. They don't. It's just not the truth. Most teams, the only thing that all teams care about is money, right? That's the first thing that all teams care about is making money. Other than that, everything else depends on the team. Not all teams care about winning as much as you think. And so, because of that, a lot of teams aren't going to pay any quarterback guarantee. And that's an issue. Another thing is that it is true. Lamar was screwed by Russell Wilson. And this is why, a lot of people have problems with Russell Wilson because they think he's fake. They think he's phony. because he screwed other quarterbacks. Same thing with players like Kyler Murray. Now Kyler Murray couldn't get it, and he knew it, and Kyler Murray knew he was small. So when he was in a group chat with the other players, he said, "Look, guys, I'm small. I'm not that good. I gotta get what I can get." Cool. Russell Wilson wasn't that way, and so again, Bart is on point. Bart is going to win this segment for me.
Out there that's willing to buck the system, that's willing to go to the owners' meetings and look, we're getting guaranteed contracts, over $250 million to a player. And the reason why football and nobody will underwrite insurance policy for us because we play in 100% injury. It's 100%. It's not 90%. It's not 50%. You're guaranteed, no matter who you are, to get injured. What we don't know if you're willing to play for.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming.
Listen, Bart did his thing on that one. Good job, Bart. That was pretty good, Bart Scott. So I'm excited to see, where it goes, what happens. Again, I don't think it'll be a guaranteed contract because I don't think Joe Burrow's going to get fully guaranteed. But it will get done. Lamar won't be traded. You don't trade top 5 quarterbacks. So you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks, and go Ravens.